We are the Hollywood Paranormal Detectives.
Oh my God! Unlucky episode 13! Ah! We were gonna bring you two great paranormal investigators from Paraflix, but unlucky for us, they weren't able to come tonight. So now you're stuck with just me and crazy Mandy. Maisie, here she is.
Well, I mean,
and
I
the
didn't think about that.
Bry Man, unlucky episode 13.
I did not
Bry
think about
Man
that,
can't
but-
even join us. Mandy, what do you think of all this?
I think that's just how the show goes.
How the shit drops.
Well, I mean, I like to think that we're two very cool investigators that people get to listen to. Check out your Nevada State Prison
Oh, what is that?
gear.
What were you checking out?
Check it out, Nevada State Prison. Shout out to Susan.
Oh, the little place that we took down a few weeks ago.
God, still reeling from that.
I'm still seeing the thing I saw when I closed my eyes.
Are you?
Yeah, it was pretty messed up. I figured out exactly what it looked like. It looked like David Lynch. You know,
Hold
the
on.
director?
Yeah.
It looked like David Lynch with a purple face and white hair. That's what it looked like.
That's very specific.
It's pretty as specific as I can get to a person, and that's the person.
Damn.
You will find out what we're talking about when our episode drops. That is a lot of footage, and dropping before that is going to be the Kia Mill on Paraflix.
Kia.
Kia Mill. And I'm the medium. All right,
I don't know what happened there, but it
Mandy.
Yes.
You always drop bombs on us when we're talking, and you go, well, when I went and stayed blank. What are some locations you've been to that I don't know about? Like, tell me some locations you've been to pre-HPD.
Pre-HPD? So I went to Birdcage.
You've been to the Birdcage.
I've been to the Birdcage Theater.
The Birdcage Theater in Tombstone, Arizona, for everybody
Tombstone,
watching.
Arizona. I'm your Huckleberry. That place is super haunted.
Did you investigate with a group or by yourself?
Yeah, it was with a group. And I had a wild experience there. So we were like lights out and we're sitting in the theater area. They had us all get chairs and we're sitting down, and my friend's sitting with me, and we decided to hang out in the back away from everyone because we wanted to have a real experience. And I was
the cool
sitting there,
kids in the back.
the cool kids in the back that were whispering the whole time. And my friend, who she doesn't have a ton of experiences, but she had seen a woman in white walk by one of the those like booths up top.
The bird cages?
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
The bird cages. She saw one walk by, and I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And I turned and looked over because I felt something. And as I turned, I saw like had to be at least 7 feet tall, just black mass, just like huge guy, like outline of a guy, so blacker than black, standing there. And he just came full on to me.
Wow.
So much so
He
that
like
I was
charged
like,
you.
yes, and that I like went into my friend and scared the shit out of her because it scared the shit out of me.
After this story, tell me to tell you the story I just thought of, but keep going.
Okay, yeah. So that was pretty interesting. And then I talked to the lady after. She's like, well, what did he look like? And I told her, and she showed me a photo. She's like, this is him. And apparently he was one of the like enforcers or the bouncers during that time.
Oh my God.
So he didn't like me. And
as a medium, is there a way you're used to visualizing things, and then a way almost the same way I would see them, someone who's not as trained as you? Like, can you tell the difference? This is the way I'm used to seeing things, and then this is the way Steve or Brian might see a ghost, you know?
Yeah, so like 99% of the time I see like you, but it's not the physical outline of you. It is, but it's in my third eye. So it's not like you're standing. I can't explain it. It's not like you're physically standing in front of me. It's like a vision of you standing in front of me. So that's how I typically see spirits.
And you can tell the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
So whenever I see an actual form, like a physical form, that's when I always get startled because it doesn't happen often. So like when you see like an apparition walk by or you see someone turn a corner that's not there.
So you know the difference. You know, this is something I'm not used to.
Yes.
Like, bam. Okay.
100%. So
I was wondering if it was hard for you to tell the difference between something that you're channeling or something as opposed to a unwelcome spirit coming into your area.
I mean, I have a pretty good sense of who's doing what and all that. Yeah. Whereas so like sometimes you guys will see like a mist or like a shadow or like a mass type thing. Sometimes I'll see that, but I'll see its actual form.
What's really neat is like everyone sees things here in that peripheral. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's like they're getting more and more like they're almost here. Well, I mean, I leaned my forehead against the glass against someone else.
You had see, it's happening.
I literally like if you put your forehead against the glass and someone does the other side, and then they turn the lights on in that room. You know, that was not good.
Mandy Mansion too.
Birdcage that was pretty good. What equipment did you guys have?
At Birdcage, I just had an Ovilus and digital recorder.
And it was you and your friend?
And a couple other people that were there for the night.
What was your friend that you always go with?
My friend that I usually go with is Jade, but this one...
Shout out to Jade!
But yeah, so that one's really cool. We have to go there.
I am embarrassed that I live so close to Tombstone and haven't been. And I love the movie so much and I haven't been. And I love Western so much and I haven't been. We have 3 viewers right now. That's not a lot. But just so you guys know, tonight is live Unlucky 13 unscripted chat. So if you want to give a chat in wherever you're watching and ask us a question, we will 100% respond tonight. And we've got, some stories. So you were charged, right?
Yes.
So me and Brian and this girl named Jen, another Steve, good old Boom, and I think that's it. We were the Los Angeles ghost researchers, a mouthful of a team, and we were investigating a cemetery.
Okay.
So there's this big mausoleum. Here's the doors. There's like a little platform. And there's like 3 stone kind of benches, just like a graveyard. So we come out and we're waiting on Jen, Boom, and Steve to come up. Me and Brian had been in the mausoleum. This is... I can't think of the name of the cemetery right now. But we did episode tryouts. Episode 3 was there.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm standing up on the little stone pillar, and it's out in the woods. It's way out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm watching them come up. To my side, I hear galloping in the grass. I mean, I hear hooves in the grass. I swear I see a deer out of my peripheral.
What?
Or at least a large brown shape. And I hear movement, steps in the grass. And I jump back, grab Brian, pull him to the wall. We both fall down, because I was certain, I'm about to get hit.
Coming.
I'm about to get hit by a deer. I get up. I'm like, oh my God, did everybody see that deer? The 3 people coming up the hill had full view of both of us. They said there was no deer. We heard no footsteps. Brian heard no footsteps. No one heard anything but me.
Yeah.
And then we find out that this graveyard is a location known for a moving statue that is supposed to charge people.
Oh,
Um,
that's
and it's a bronze.
really specific.
It's a
That's
bronze statue. But I jumped. I mean, I was certain. I didn't look to see something. It was coming. And I leapt in terror.
weird. Man, those moments where you physically jump or move
Yeah,
out of
you're reacting.
fucking fear. That was amazing. Those are the moments.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And Brian still kind of makes fun of me for it.
You know where I've had a lot of experiences like that? The Queen Mary.
Oh, I love the Queen Mary.
I know. There's a jokester who lives down in the engine area who likes to run up on people.
You've got to go into a lot of good places there.
Oh, yeah.
Because we went, even before Ben, we went almost every year for my birthday since I've moved here. And then we'd go every Halloween and we'd stay the night and do the Dark Harbor, every Halloween. We went almost twice a year for years. But you started a documentary there, right?
Yeah, I tried.
It's a sad story.
It's so sad.
Everyone, she filmed a documentary and the computer died and lost the footage. So you can't go back.
I was able to salvage was the little girl singing with us and the footage of that guy that I posted.
I've seen those
in the boiler room. So that is all I have left, which is better than nothing. But
5 of you watching, ask us questions, please. Come on, guys. Keep going.
But yeah, so the Queen Mary is probably.
I love it. I feel at home.
Oh,
like
exactly.
I don't want to leave.
Exactly.
Like when we're there, people are like, "Let's go to P.F. Chang's down the street." Like, no, I want to eat here.
I want to fucking eat
I want to
here.
eat lunch here. I want to eat
stare
breakfast here. I want to just like lay on the ground and hold the boards.
That's so real, though.
Have you been to the Stanley?
No.
The Stanley's the same. The only 2 places that felt like that, like you step into a time machine and you're this vessel frozen in time. It's Queen Mary and the Stanley. They had to drag me out of the Stanley to go into town and eat dinner. And I was like, I don't want to leave. It shines. It shines.
Oh, shit.
So you got to investigate or just film in the pool area?
Yeah.
See, I never got to investigate there.
So we got to go down into the pool and then into the changing rooms.
I don't even know where those are.
So they're right off to the side of the pool where people would go to change to get into the pool.
So when you take the tour, you're up top and you're looking down on this side, on the dock side. And the changing rooms are down and under that.
So like where the pool is, just off to the corner is the rooms to the changing rooms. And that's where the little girl supposedly likes to hang out and do her thing. So we had posted up in the changing rooms with, we used the Boo Buddy, and we are getting a lot of interaction down there. But that's a big hot spot. That's where I got the little girl singing.
I want to investigate there so bad.
Yeah.
Have you been in room B340?
I have not been in B340.
It is great.
That's the only one I have not been in.
Did I spell questions right?
Questions. Yes.
I hope I did.
I'm jealous that you got to go in 340.
Well, we rent. It wasn't free. It was. Well, so I've been when me and Tay used to go. We would go sit in the little alcove of the room with no number, and we'd play Spirit Box with headphones and sort of like just sit in that hallway. There would be like a little mail slot, and we'd like hang recorders in the mail slot and ask questions. One time we had Is that my phone? Oh. I was getting hearing my own voice like 2 seconds later. But and then we had a security guard once like come up on us all tough and be like, "What are y'all doing?" We're like, "We're listening to this room." And he was like, "I'll let you in until I come back around."
Oh, that's
And
nice.
he opened the door and then locked us in. And then, but it was bare. There was
Locked in.
nothing in it. There was
Oh, yeah.
nothing in the room. No carpet. No. And it's just so weird that they would keep it like that so long. Which had to have a reason. Had to have a legitimate reason. When
They were
now
doing
they're
a lot of
charging $700
renovations.
a room.
Winston. I am
What's the
late.
question here? Didn't Winston Churchill stay at the Queen Mary have his own room? Yes, he has his own room there, and he's supposedly seen in the chair in that room, and you smell cigar smoke in that room.
Yep.
And their notorious thing they tell you on the tour is the door for that room opens out, so people come up and put their nose against the door to smell the cigar smoke, and people from the room hit them in the face, and that happens a lot.
So that happened. Well, not that specific scenario, but I went up and I was leaning up against the door and I could hear back to me on the door.
Oh, like a rap back.
Yeah. So
the Churchill suite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, I want to go back, and so if Queen Mary was open now, we could go back and stay in the Churchill room and do an episode.
Oh.
And then we could go back, and I want to do an episode of the deck and just walk the deck for an evening with equipment, and then do an episode of the boiler room. You know, like Queen Mary's so big, we could spread it out.
Oh, easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
the Queen Mary is like, I think I basically discovered all of my gifts on the Queen Mary.
So you were, when did you start your documentary?
2015. Yeah.
The year my boy was born.
I was finishing up college. 15? Yeah, 2015. I had worked on
You'd always had these experiences, but when you went to the Queen Mary, you essentially tried to use them?
Yeah, the Queen Mary really was like helped me develop a lot of what I can do now. That was like my safe haven. And the spirits there, I developed such a close relationship with the spirits there, and it was almost as if they knew that I was practicing, so they were helping me. The first time I went into, well, not the first time, but I had I learned, so people like to show me how they died by allowing me to feel it. And the Queen Mary, I know. So I've learned to control that.
I hope it wasn't John.
It was John. So
he let you get crushed by a door.
So John is my friend. John is my friend on the ship. I miss him so dearly.
I want to let you feel so.
Okay,
Is that what happened?
My parents will remember this. It was the first time I went on the Queen Mary. So
John. Sorry, I'm sorry for people watching. I'm a physical comedian.
That's essentially what happened. That's essentially what happened. You can ask my parents. I started freaking out because there was this man following me, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" And
you were sensing a spirit following.
This was like a year before I'd even started, whatever. And so I went on the Queen Mary. I'm doing the tour. And all of a sudden, I feel like I'm being just fucking suffocated, like absolutely suffocated.
Like maybe your lungs are crushed.
Yeah. And I'm like, I cannot breathe. And there's a man, and I'm like, I cannot breathe. And so my parents, we had to leave the tour because I was like, I can't breathe. And so I had to go all the way up to the deck, get some fresh air because I couldn't breathe. And then when I came back to film for the documentary, mind you, I didn't know the story of John at the time. So when I went back to film for the documentary...
The story is, for everyone watching and listening, is when there was a bulkhead that was ruptured, water was coming in the ship. So what you do, water's coming in, You close off the doors so the water only fills that chamber and doesn't sink your ship. But guys like to run and zip through at the last second. And John was trying to run and be one of the last guys and got crushed by the door closing to keep the water in and died. A very famous spirit from the Queen Mary.
Well, I didn't get to that part because I didn't make it that far because I was too busy suffocating. So when I came back to film, I was working with Matthew, who I don't know if he still does it, but he used to run all of the nighttime paranormal tours for the ship Friday through Sunday. And so we were filming him for the documentary. And I was like, all of a sudden that guy showed up again. And I was like, oh, he's back. And he was like, oh, who is it? And I was like,
did you know it wasn't a regular person? Or where you developed that skill?
Yeah, I knew he was the spirit of the ship. And I was like, the guy who showed me that he died by like suffocation. I was like, his name is John. And the guy was like, oh, John. And it like told me all of
you knew the name.
Yeah, I knew the name.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah. And so he was like, oh yeah, John. And then he told me what happened. And I was like, oh shit. And so ever since then, I developed a relationship with John. And I know that sounds weird, but as a medium, you can develop these relationships with spirits. And so, yeah, so every time I go on the ship, I hang out with John.
Wow. Then we have to take you back there.
We have to go back. He helps me out a lot, especially with the not so nice spirit down in the engine room who loves to fucking charge me. John likes to help me out with that one.
Hello, Heather. Hi to Georgia. Yes, when it is open, the Queen Mary, you can rent a room and you can pay to investigate, and you can pay extra to get B340, the most haunted room. But right now, ever since COVID, it's been closed for renovations. It almost got scrapped because it's been there so long. But the town of Long Beach pulled through and saved our local haunted landmark and saved that Queen Mary. So when it reopens, Heather, definitely make the trip from Georgia. You can spend a week on the ship and have so much fun.
Every penny.
Eat in a different restaurant, take a different tour, but go to a different shop. It's great. Heather, thank you so much. Please like, follow, and share, and thank you for your question. I love the Queen Mary so much.
Yeah.
I got a face for radio. I can't help it. Get it? A face for radio?
That's beautiful. It really is.
Queen Mary is, I feel like we're missing something. I'm so used to going so often and I haven't been since 2020, like.
It's been a really long time.
It's been a long time. And I wish they would open it. And I'd like to maybe go while it's closed. You said Mackey Mansion. What did you just mention? You just mentioned a location.
Mackey Mansion.
You've been to Mackey Mansion?
Yes.
Now, I believe, I might be wrong, a lady who used to work at the Pioneer Saloon now works at Mackey Mansion. Is that true?
Well.
You were doing but I think she was.
I'm sorry, I acted like I knew that. I don't know.
You were like, absolutely.
I was like,
absolutely.
Yeah, maybe she does.
But
her name is John.
She sent us a message after the Pioneer Saloon episode, I think.
Cool.
I'd have to find it. And she invited us to Mackey Mansion, but it's so hard. It's so hard.
Crazy.
People think we just run out and do these things, but it is really hard.
So
at least get this guy out of the routine, out to the streets. Tell me about Mackey Mansion. If I've never heard anything about it, tell me about it. What's the story of Mackey Mansion?
Mackey Mansion is a mansion, quote unquote. It's like
really good.
You know how like the way it was owned by
She
John
has an
Mackey.
eye for detail, people. That's why you think I'm mean to you. I'm just playing.
Shut up.
Mackey Mansion is a mansion.
Linda, listen. So you know how the Whaley House is considered a mansion for its time. That's how the Mackey Mansion is. So it's owned by John Mackey, who is a very prominent family in Virginia City. And they owned a lot of...
Is it in the city, like downtown, or is it on the outskirts?
So, like, if the main street's right here, if you go down, it's, like, right here.
Okay.
So, over by the Collar Mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So John Mackey did a lot with the mines, right? He owned various mines and made lots of money, and basically helped like build up Virginia City to what it is now.
Okay.
So he was also very good friends with Ulysses S. Grant, and Grant would come hang out with John Mackey, which is really cool.
Do you like Civil War stuff or anything?
You should see my house.
Oh my God.
And my shirt. I miss.
What does it say? I miss Abe Lincoln?
Yeah.
That's all of us. I bet we all wish we had that shirt. Hey, you know what we were just talking about the other day? Abe Lincoln. I miss Abe Lincoln. Look at a penny.
I miss him so much.
I miss Abe so much.
I miss him so much. But yeah, so
Mackey Mansion, tell me about what's the stories? What are the haunts of Mackey Mansion? Is he there himself?
Yeah, so basically
Mr. Mackey?
Mr. Mackey, a lot of the haunts are essentially as if the family is still living there. And when we were there, we caught audio that sounded like, oh, hurry, like he's going to be home soon kind of thing. Like It was weird. It was as if they're still just going about
like the servants or the workers.
Yeah. So the family, the servants.
Who did you go with?
I went with my dad and
cool.
2 of our friends, and we did an overnight.
I think I'm gonna have to make the whole Maisie clan part of HPD.
Bring the whole fam down.
Yeah.
But man, the spirits were really active there. So we were upstairs and we could hear footsteps running up the stairs.
Wow.
Clear as day. I have a picture of a black mass that was caught on camera.
Wow.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Let me show you.
When you were in Virginia City, did you go to the graveyard? The big graveyard outside of town?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was it very active?
I didn't actually investigate it.
Oh, you just sort of wandered it?
Yeah,
For the 6 people watching, just so you know, this is Wild episode 13. Our guests have had to cancel, so we are just talking ghost hunting and locations and places we've been, but we're also answering your questions. So any questions you ask, we guarantee Mandy or I shall answer. Let's see this form. Oh, in the bottom corner there.
Yeah. So you see that, and you see how it's almost like, sorry, this thing's backwards. You could see it's like, there we go. You can kind of transparent in a way.
Yeah.
So that showed up. But that's how we were seeing him. So John Mackey is seen as a rolling black bass. And actually Dawn, who owns it now. No, the lady who owns it. She has a really good video of a rolling black mass that they caught on camera. So that place it's almost like a little portal up on the 2nd floor.
Have you been to Whaley House before?
Yes.
You have? Have you investigated it or just been?
I've not investigated. I've just done like 7 tours.
7 tours. Now we did
I go every time I'm in San Diego.
The same group that was with me when I jumped on Brian thinking I was hit by a deer. We did Whaley House.
What was that like?
I love Whaley House. The biggest problem was having 2 docents in those small rooms sort of breaks up your concentration. And like you put a device on the pillow, can you move that device? Like, okay, I'm trying to focus here.
Yeah.
When you're already now you've been with us filming, and you know how once we're filming it's very intense. And but when you're not filming, you're relaxed. So that's sort of when you're not documenting your evidence, you're never really on. So we were never really on. But I remember getting some good evidence in the downstairs room that was supposed to be where the guy was hung. I think I remember Boom feeling tightness on his neck in that exact spot. And I dressed as a police officer and was taunting in that room. This is a long time ago.
And that is why the docents stay there.
Well, they said they hate cops. And I kept saying, I'm a cop, which I'm not a cop. But of course, to the fans, I'm not a cop. Just a lot of talking of badge. You're not a cop. I taunted a lot as not really taunting, but just saying, I'm a police officer. You know, I'm here to arrest you. I'm gonna hang you, you know. But Boom felt the tightness on his neck.
Oh, poor guy.
And that's the same room Regis Philbin saw a spirit in the Whaley house when he was filming.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They're so proud of Regis seeing that spirit.
I know, they love him.
And now Regis is gonna haunt the Maggie Mansion. He's already there. I seen the spirit. I'm there. We got 5 friends watching and 5 thumbs up. Please leave us a comment and ask us a question.
Hold on, my brother. Oh, actually, I think this is my mom.
Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
Clean your room. Feeling the heavy feeling. We crossed into the one room.
Yeah.
Was that the same room?
No, it was right where the hallway between that hallway right into the general store.
Okay, yeah.
Right in there, my mom went with me, and my mom she doesn't like the spirits just leave her alone. She's like, don't even bother.
The whole
with
Amazing
me.
Clan
I'm not
is
here
into
for
the
it.
paranormal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, we're a unit. And so my mom, even though she's not sensitive like I am, but she was like, whoa, like she could feel. She's like, you can almost cut it with a knife. It's so thick. Yeah. And I'm like, well, yeah. There's a lot of
I remember the
in there.
theater room I felt uncomfortable in.
Heard the little girl. Oh yeah, that's right, we did.
Oh, y'all heard a little girl.
Yeah, and we heard the glass like tinking as if they had lit it. It was weird.
Oh, I didn't see that. When you investigate, how long do you normally stay? Estimated before you move to another room. Good question, Heather from Georgia. It's sort of like if you're making contact, you don't want to leave, right? That's the way I always feel. But it kind of like a ride, like you feel it kind of culminate in a pinnacle of evidence, and then you sort of feel it go quiet. You feel like the spirits are drained, or you feel like you're a little drained. I don't think I would call ghost hunting an adrenaline rush. I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but it's definitely
rush for sure.
But it's not. I mean, I skateboarded for years and all my other stuff. It's not the same as doing a physical sport, and you literally can feel your muscles pumping, you know. But it's definitely like when it's almost being scared, or it's almost being an emotional adrenaline rush more than a physical adrenaline rush. I remember in wrestling, you'd come back through the curtain and like you can feel your heartbeat like this, like someone's poking you, like it's that your blood's pumping that hard.
I'm actually might have to disagree, because that's how I feel sometimes during investigations. Yeah.
Well, I don't feel
physically. I can feel that. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Well, I get heightened, and then I do feel like a down. But as long as you're getting evidence, you don't leave. But it's sort of like, you know, the veil becomes thin so you can communicate. And I think it takes a lot out of both parties, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It takes that energy out of us and energy out of them to communicate.
I mean, if we're like on a time crunch, right, we'll be like, okay, no more than 45 minutes in this room. But then next thing you know, it's been an hour and a half, and you're like, God damn it. I haven't gone anywhere else.
Also that, like you go to the goal field and we go, we got to spend this long in this room. We got to spend this long in the basement. We got to spend this long in that upstairs room. And we got to spend this long in the brick room. Like, so if we only have 6 hours here, let's do this long in each room, and then we'll have 2 hours to spare, you know? We do, when we're investigating, especially with me, I try to make sure we get a good, almost like a run through of our equipment and our questioning in every room, you know. Yeah.
Paranormal hangover for sure.
I used to call it like, you know, let's go through the Rolodex of equipment in each of the prime locations before we start relaxing, you know. So that way we've got our footage and we've put in our effort, and then we can have fun. Yes, paranormal hangover, it happens. Boom used to get them real hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom, I miss you, brother. He's still in Ukraine, hanging in there. So you have you been to Washoe?
Mm-hmm.
You've been
Yeah.
you've been everywhere.
I've been a lot of places.
You investigated Washoe?
Thought I was an amateur. No. I have investigated Washoe.
You have.
I have, and
In a group tour kind of thing?
in a group tour, yes. But we got lucky. It was a small group tour. It was a small group tour. And my God, some of the stuff that we got there was just mind blowing. It was really cool.
Was it like a Nick Groff tour or just a normal tour?
Yeah, it was a Nick. Well, it was a Nick Groff tour.
Was that
but
the
it wasn't
one?
His...
I remember one of his first ones when he first started it. He did one there, and they said they had the largest group experience he'd ever had at the end of the night.
We did a group seance at the end of the
big
night.
group. Yeah, so you were in that.
Mm-hmm. It was. He filmed it for his episode of Death Walker. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't the old one though. It was sort of recent.
Maybe he did. It was a couple years ago.
It probably was. I don't know.
We did a group seance in the ballroom.
Okay.
We all held hands and woo. Activity amped up. The paranormal music box was going off. People. We were all seeing this like the creeper crawling up the wall.
Everyone saw it.
Yeah, multiple people had seen it at the same time. Yeah.
Don't you love when you're in the dark and you're trying to tell if am I seeing movement or or is there something there?
The worst thing though is
in the cooking room or the kitchen of Nevada State Prison, there was a big white mass that was moving like on the floor to my side, and I kept turning my flashlight on because it was so big. It was like it wasn't the size of a person. It was like a cloud.
What is happening down there?
Can't wait to see that.
I know. Yeah, no, the Washoe though.
We have to do all these places.
Yeah, the Washoe, that would be a great one, just because it is so freaking active. Ulysses S. Grant used to also hang out at the Washoe Club.
All right, now
he played poker.
Tell me your obsession with. Why are you laughing? I'm sorry. What's your obsession with Civil War? I'm playing. We're friends. We're teammates.
We're friends, okay? I am a Civil War enthusiast.
Okay.
We all have our weird shit. This is mine.
Do you have like Civil War things in your home?
Yes. My house is a mini Civil War museum. You can,
a museum.
If you want to pay to come here, you can. I will show you all my items.
Do you want to? Can you show us live on the stream?
Yeah.
If you don't want to, it's okay.
You want to see?
Or do you want to save it for your TikTok? You can say everyone subscribe to your TikTok. Or
come see my TikTok and I'll post a video about it.
All right, so everybody, she'll post a video about it. Just tell us about your collection.
I have a pretty, not an amazing collection, but I have a pretty hefty collection of Civil War items.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, so much Civil War stuff.
I love it. So I have first it started out small stuff, like
what was your first
plates.
item?
My first Civil War item was a bill.
That bill that
it was a Confederate note.
You told me there was a bill on the wall.
Not the one on the wall, but I have a Civil War binder, and in this binder has like hundreds of items in this binder. Mm-hmm. So I have Civil War money. I got Civil War period money.
Did you buy the binder with stuff in it?
I had the binder made.
Oh, you had it made and you filled it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, it's cool. So I have lots of pictures, money, coins, collectibles like newspapers from that time period, books. Don't you dare yawn during my
I've been up since segment. 4 a.m. working on this show.
Yeah, so
sorry. I didn't
and
mean
now
to
it's
you didn't have to point it out.
You didn't have to yawn during my segment.
I was trying to hide behind the microphone.
But now it's grown into more expensive items.
Okay.
that I've been bidding on.
What's your newest item you've gotten?
My newest item would be the collection that I have I have a piece of wallpaper from the room that Abraham Lincoln died in.
Oh, I have a piece of coal from the Titanic.
You do?
Yeah.
What? Let me see it.
Hold on, it's
You
over
have
here.
it? Oh my gosh.
Here it is. So this is from the Titanic Museum when it was on tour in Vegas.
What?
It says Titanic. It's a piece of coal from the
my
coal
God.
room. But the
Wait,
coolest thing,
you got that in Vegas?
this went down with the ship. This was on the bottom of the ocean with the frickin' Titanic.
That's really cool.
And I've got it in my room.
May I add it to my
So
collection?
where has this been? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's really cool. I want one.
I'm sure it's still there. We also did the bodies exhibit when I was there, and I just felt uncomfortable.
Really?
I got like halfway through, and I was like, I'm just a bag of sticks and blood. I gotta get out of here. Like, I felt like I was gonna
You're
collapse.
like, I'm worthless. I'm just blood.
Like, I'm just stuff. I'm just like mass and meat. You can ask my wife. I just like had to like after a while I was like, this isn't cool anymore. I kind of want to go.
That's so fascinating.
Now as a medium, do you feel those people are trapped and losing their minds, or are they
you mean with the
their
items?
bodies? Their
Or the
bodies
bodies?
are frozen riding horses
No.
or something. Like
No.
they're out of there.
Yes.
But they say
Spirit-
also those
everybody has free
bodies
will.
are
Everyone's
Those
got
bo-
free will.
those bodies are often taken by mysterious ways. They say some of the early body exhibits
That's so cool.
donated
know.
from the East India Trading Company. Wink, wink. You
I
know,
want to donate my body.
to the body exhibit. I'll slice you up.
I want to be on display forever.
Bleh, a bag of blood and stuff.
It's so cool. It's
Wait.
so cool.
Well, here's a question.
I like
Being a former HPD viewer, what's a location we've already been that maybe you would like to go back to? Did I just say hi?
You did say hi.
I didn't do it.
I was like, why are you saying hi? Oh, it's
Maybe-
Brian.
Oh,
Hi,
it's Brian. Brian, if you're home, are you home? Say I'm home, and I'll send you an invite.
You know, can I just say I've been to the Titanic Museum in Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland.
Yeah, I got to see the dock where it was built.
Oh, wow.
Ta-da! Okay.
Because we could take you guys back, and it'd be a way to go back to some
I
locations.
want to go to Cava State, and I want to talk to whoever said my name on the obelisk.
You've been there already?
No, you guys got my name on the obelisk.
Did we
On
really?
the Cobb State, the Cava State episode, and I want to
You
go back.
fan nerd.
I was like, that's me. That's me.
That's crazy man amazing. Talk about me.
Oh, Brian.
All right, thanks, Brian. Thanks for chatting.
Hi, Brian.
Hope you had a
I want
good-
to do the
good work.
saloon, Pioneer Saloon.
Pioneer Saloon is so haunted.
I want to go
You
to Pioneer
feel
Saloon.
like you're in a crowded place.
Let's do it. Let's go. Round up.
And
Right
it's close. It's close. It's affordable, and it's super haunted.
now. Maybe for like next month.
Next month we're going.
Okay.
We already got a trip planned next month.
No, we don't. Next month
Well,
is
next
April.
month's my birthday. I gotta have my birthday. I gotta play with my wife and my baby's on a birthday. We got 4 people watching. And I assume they're all people that know us. Ask us some questions.
We're doing great.
1 from
killing
YouTube,
it.
3 from Facebook. Let us know what's happening. Ask us the questions. Get to know us. Pioneer Saloon is unreal, and I would say probably one of our best episodes.
Pioneer Saloon.
We got a lot of good stuff to get. We got Paul Kowski's the guy who was shot, and the bullet holes are still in the wall. We got Paul's name at least 5 times on the Spirit
cool.
Box, and once on the Ovilus. We got Paul Kowski once on the Spirit. We got his full name. We got Joe Armstrong said it's Joe. He's the guy who shot Paul Kowski.
Yeah.
I always say if there was a ghost hunting show competition, I would submit that episode as our competition.
Saloon.
We caught it to catch Paul Kowski that many times, and I go, who killed Paul? Joe Armstrong.
Shit.
Yeah,
I want to go and I want to play a game of poker with the spirits or something.
Now, Ben,
although I don't think they would have played with me because I'm a girl. So
why?
I don't know. Back then, men didn't play poker with women.
Hotel Del Coronado. Wait, what's this one? Great memories. I do have a little bit. Now, when I grew up in Alabama, we would always go to Sloss Furnace on the East Coast. Sloss Furnace was it's such a heavyweight of the town. It's kind of a small city. I mean, the skyline is very small, but Sloss is this big industrial steel kind of rusted monster just sitting in the foreground of every picture. And it's, I've seen Marilyn Manson play there. I've seen bands play. They have a huge stage. I've had friends get married there. I've gone to when there used to be raves, I used to go to raves there and concerts.
Shit.
We had skateboard competitions there because they have these great set of stairs. There's a parking lot with this hole in the fence that's huge that everyone parks and goes in at night and wanders around. It's very common, or it used to be. But I loved Sloss Furnace. I remember sitting in that bottom coal chute in the middle and hearing just voices on both sides saying our names and stuff, trying to get us to walk out. Yeah, I love it.
Wow.
Another great place on the East Coast is a place you have been in Louisville, Kentucky. Waverly Hills.
Waverly Hills.
I love Waverly. Just the look of it is so great. And I saw one of my favorite bands. I saw Guar for the 13th time in my life in front of Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Impressive.
Which was so great. Guar's so great. Lead singer died. I actually have a signed poster of only the dead members of Guar.
Wow, fancy.
I have a poster of only the 3 dead members of Guar signed right there.
That's great.
I'd show you, but I got a proton pack and an ET mask in front of it. That's the kind of stuff I have, Miss Civil War.
See, we all got a weird shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's how we do.
I love Waverly Hills. It's
Waverly Hills is cool.
It had to feel like Nevada State Prison. Would you compare it?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I actually felt that with Waverly, for me, it felt like a lot of time stands still kind of energy, whereas with Nevada, it felt very new and fresh. I don't know if that makes sense.
I could feel that too. Waverly is it was like going to a building that was a graveyard.
Yeah.
And Nevada State Prison was going to a concert.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It was very different.
The only other place I've been to on the East Coast is Ashmore Estates.
Is that still there?
Mm-hmm.
One of them they closed.
Ashmore Estates is still very much open.
Where state is that in?
Illinois.
I lived so close to Bobby Mackey's and had no idea it even existed, which makes me mad.
Lame. So many missed opportunities.
I had no idea. I drove by it even. I had no idea it was even haunted. So anyone who knows Louisville, I lived on, if you know what Preston Highway is, it's a main highway in Louisville. There's a huge graveyard at the north side of Preston Highway. Across from that graveyard is a flower shop, which used to be the mortician's place, and my apartment was on top of the flower shop where the mortician used to live. I had no idea when I got it, but that place had the weirdest. I'll tell us a quick story. Probably the reason I have a cat. So it had like this awkwardly narrow, like 1, 2, 3, 4 stairs to get to the little top of the duplex apartment. It was a pretty big apartment. It was this long hallway with kitchen at the end, living room at the end, bedroom here. But what would happen is I would walk up the steps almost every day, and I would get to the top of the steps, and I would hear like 3 or 4 more steps. Like I was still stepping. And I would do experiments with friends, like walk and stop and let me check for sound. Let me check if it's an echo. Let me check if it's repeating. Let me check if it's... Could not explain it. And then I'd gone up. So like that, the hallway to the kitchen is just this perfect silhouette. And as you look at it, you expect to see someone pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember standing at the top of that stairs and the footsteps kept going and I stopped. And then I remember, this gets me so scared. Like I hear the footsteps in this living room. I hear the footsteps in the bedroom. And then I hear the footsteps in the kitchen, but I would not turn my head because I knew I would just see something past that doorway.
Right away.
And I would park at night and I would just get out and I would sit on the hood of my car and I would just stare at that graveyard. It was so big. Looks like a movie set. Just huge cross headstones. One of the biggest graveyards in Kentucky.
Wow. So big.
Man. I forgot about
That's
that
creepy, though.
story.
That's
And we were just sitting there like, well, what do I do now? Do I just go to bed?
You coexist.
Oh,
what's up, paranormal popcorn?
I would have dreams that there was a man on fire screaming at me in my room and I couldn't wake up.
What the fuck?
Yeah. We're here tonight. It's crazy.
Wait,
Unlucky episode 13. Our guest from Paraflix canceled. So now it's just me and Crazy Mandy Maisie. We're telling you about ghosts. We're telling you about locations. Everyone like, subscribe, follow, buy a t-shirt, join a Patreon, all that good stuff.
That's all great, but I want to hear more about this man on fire. Hold on.
I would be in bed asleep and I would know that there was a man on fire next to my bed. And
why?
I would feel
Why is
like
he on fire?
if the microphone was my face, I would feel like he was going like screaming in my face, and I'm like, but I'm asleep. And I would have that dream a few times, and I would switch my bedroom to my living room and stop going in that bedroom for a while.
And where was your bedroom in conjunction, like with the mortician's office?
Well, it was turned into a flower shop. I think my bedroom was the mortician's office.
I was like, maybe there's some like weird residual.
There was some like weird shaped rooms, and it was my bedroom was very much set up to have a casket on display instead of a bed.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Because I was wrestling in Alabama and OVW was in Louisville. So I went to Louisville to wrestle, and some people in my class were like, we're about to move out of our apartment if you want it. We're moving out of our apartment. We're moving out of our apartment if you want it. We're moving out. And I was like, oh, great. What's the rent? Oh, it's really cheap. It's like nothing. It was like $300. But this is 2001 or something. But
I was a child.
it was practically free. The landlord was always like, you okay? You good? You okay? You good? And I was like, yeah, what's wrong?
Like, I'm fine.
Living in the freaking morgue. Got 7 friends watching. Ask us some questions, something you want to know.
You know, I could be a mortician.
I think I'd be too sad. I think I could do the work, but I think, you know, you can look at anybody and just like, it's a weird thing when you're a parent. If I see a homeless person, I'll start to walk by and then I'll go, that was a baby in the hospital. Someone celebrated that day. Someone cared. Someone took his picture. Someone, and I just want to go back and like pick everybody up. Like, where's your mama? Like, crazy old man, like walking in the street. Like, I'm like, but somebody loved you. Somebody had you, you know. I think about that everyone I see. And I think
that is why you're a good person, Steven.
If I was a mortician, I think I would do that. I think I would be like, this is somebody's baby. I think it's just because I love my kids so much.
And that is why I'm a bad person, because I'd be like, wow, look at this body. Wow.
Look at his arm.
His organs. Look what happens when I do this.
Yes, play in his blood. Now, what do you know? My son is asking my wife to ask about the Slender Man. What do you know about the Slender Man? Now, I've heard the Slender Man is a lot like the Philip experiment. If you remember that, it was someone created him to go viral, but in turn, people started seeing him and people started experiencing him.
Is 100% thought formation.
Well, yeah. Well, they say evil waits for a form. Evil waits. Yeah. I mean, it's literally a Freddy movie. They go, evil takes the place. If Freddy movies were made enough, Freddy would become real. Because you would actually dream about him killing you, you know, and have a heart attack. Like, same thing with Slender Man. If you believe in a form, if you believe in an entity, you can almost create. Did you see the new Batman movie?
No, not yet.
There's great moments where these guys are like, he robs a place.
Don't give away any spoilers.
It's not really a spoiler. But
Spoiler alert.
He robs a place, and he looks just in the shadows, and just the way he's looking in the shadows, like Batman's in the shadows, like he's so scared, like, but it's just showing like he's not there, but the fact that he could be there keeps everyone on their toes, which is sort of like Slender Man. You look in the shadows and you create that. What is this big question? Meeting a friend, she can see spirits all the time. If I want to collaborate with the ability, she says, stuck in the walls. Can you see the torso stuck outside the wall?
Interesting. Okay. So that's great. That's a wow. Okay. So,
thank you, Paranormal Popcorn.
Yeah, thank you, Paranormal Popcorn. Okay. How to answer this question. So I will never say, this is open to interpretation. I don't believe that anyone, what they're seeing is right or wrong. I think that we have all varying capabilities of what we're able to see. So like a lot of people won't agree with me, but I see demons all the time. They're everywhere.
What do you define as a demon? It just never was a human?
Never was a human. It has a certain contract here. It's demons aren't humans. Humans, you can have like lower level entities, which could have been humans at one point, but demons were never humans in this life. They never made it to the physical.
So not everything, not every spirit. So there's a difference to you between a spirit, an entity, and a demon, correct?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. There's varying levels of each thing. At least in my opinion, for me, there are.
Okay.
And so what I see, just because I'm not seeing what someone else is seeing doesn't mean that it's not there. It's just I'm not seeing into that particular space. Now, so he's saying that, or Paranormal Popcorn, he or she, is saying that this person is seeing spirits that get stuck in the walls. I've never particularly seen anything like that. There are some people I know who say that spirits cannot go through walls, that they use doors. I have seen spirits go through walls. So whether they can get stuck or not.
Well, the fact is sometimes they say, like, was the wall there when they lived there. And if
Exactly.
it wasn't, sometimes they'll just be doing their loop.
I
you
mean,
know?
I look at it this way. So, like, again, I know people who say that they're not stupid, that they're going to use a door. And I'm like, well, at the end of the day, it's just energy. They're just energy. They can do whatever the hell they want. They can go through walls. They can go.
Now that's so
Through
my
the roof.
theory is everything is energy. But on top of that, it is also, so now we're stating spirit, entity, demon. Spirit knows it used to be a person, right?
All right. So,
Entity.
spirit. Okay. So you can use them interchangeably, but it I
My-
guess it
my
depends on how you
definition
wanna
is-
use it.
If it thinks or knows it used to be a person, that would be a spirit. An entity is the one I'm not sure about what I would call, but a demon I would think was never human or has been dead so long or in the spirit realm so long it's forgotten it was a human. It
Yeah.
just knows that it's a spirit.
So for me, that would be entity. An entity for me can also be something that was never human in the first place. So
Okay.
like elemental, that sort of thing.
Almost a good demon.
An entity can be good or bad,
Okay.
depending on how you want to go with that. A spirit. So I don't totally use it this way, but a lot of people say spirit is somebody who is crossed over and comes back for visitations. A ghost is a
Someone who's
form
trapped.
who's here on this physical plane that has not crossed over. And then your entities and then your demons or lower level entities.
The only one so you're saying entities are more elemental.
Entities for me can also be elementals. Yes. I use that word entity a lot for things when I haven't quite decided if it's human or not.
So
It's
entity
an elemental.
broadens the gap between spirit and demon.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
fills
Because
in the space.
I don't like to throw out demon unless I am 100% sure that is what's going on, which it's not always the case. But I want to go back to what he said about being stuck in the wall. For me personally, this may not be everyone's point of view, but if something is stuck in a wall and you're seeing arms and hands and torsos, to me, that means that it's not fully formed. And for me, when it's not fully formed, it is not a spirit. I actually think that it could be potentially an entity, something that's non-human, that's trying to portray itself as a human, or a darker entity, like a demon or so on. So paranormal popcorn, that's my thing, is if she's seeing that, I don't believe that spirits who have crossed over or even ghosts can get stuck in walls unless they're not of this earth. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Can a spirit change into a demon? My theory is if it's a dead, as you say, a non-crossed over ghost long enough, it can almost forget it was ever human. It's so disconnected to reality. I don't know if a demon is necessarily evil, but it doesn't identify as a human or former human. That's what I think. Same ballpark?
I like that. Yeah, no, I like your interpretation of it. Demons for me,
So it's almost like maybe
I personally don't think that if a demon has ever been a human, which is why when I see a demon, the human body that they're trying to portray, there's always something that's not right. Like it's not 100% human body.
they don't know how to sculpt it.
They can't because they've never been human. So I actually don't think that a human spirit can turn. I think they can be assholes, and I think that they can become a lower level entity, something that's like a trickster or not good, negative. But I don't believe that a human spirit can turn into a demon. I think that is its own separate category. But
Now,
again, just my belief, my interpretation.
Saying it's all energy. So that goes to my biggest theory is we could also just be categorizing energy levels.
Yes.
No
yes.
demon.
I agree. I don't think that demons have ever they don't know how to take a full human form, which is why that's how I know the difference, is because there's always something.
But that's sort of
right.
with my theory. If it could be something so old that doesn't remember its human form, it doesn't understand.
That's possible. I mean, who knows what's
But see,
right or wrong, you know?
So like I'm here. My energy is contained in my vessel, right?
Yeah.
When I die, it's out, right? Some of it could cross over. And I think maybe what remains is almost like a recording, a filter, of energy residue. And
Yeah.
even if you were to get my voice on a spirit box or an EVP, I'm still crossed over. You're just sort of getting this residue of me.
Yeah, I think
in an
that's
energy form.
Yeah, I think that you can. I think that you could potentially leave part of yourself behind in a certain way, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes that can just happen as part of the process. I mean, could you imagine?
It's the year 3015. I was never human. I was never human.
But you know, it's like nobody knows for sure.
No
right?
one knows.
No one will ever know for sure. But this is just kind of like what I've gathered over the years of seeing this shit.
I think even the same thing. So, like, let's say a location is known for voices. That means it has an audible residue of energy.
Yeah.
There may not be a spirit there. There may not be.
No.
It could be just that someone died, they crossed over. That residue is an audible residue.
We've left behind an imprint of sorts.
This stairwell, there's always a woman in white. That means there's a visual residue of that person there. And just, you may not see it all the time. You only see it when the residue crosses your eyes or crosses your vision or intersects with you. Which makes you sad. They're like, oh, we're just kind of residue chasers.
Residue.
You know what I mean? We're chasing kind of echo residues.
Yeah,
we're not. It makes you go, I hope we're not just making indirect contact with kind of a spiritual residue.
Well, so a lot of times you'll hear mediums will walk into a location and we'll say, like, we're seeing a psychic imprint of something.
Okay.
We're not actually seeing the spirit. We're seeing what's left behind that has imprinted itself into the building or the location, which people can mistake as, actual spirit activity. What's up?
We made it. We did an hour. I'm just saying we
need to talk more. This is great. Look at it. This is picking up.
But same thing with going back to my son's question of Slender Man.
Oh yeah, Slender Man.
I know people started. There was a guy who claimed he started it, and he faked videos or something. I know someone's gonna get mad at me who knows more about Slender Man, but I know, sort of like Siren Head, they sort of made it up to kind of get that attention, but then people start seeing it,
Well, and also too, you got to think about it this way. So if we're talking about lower level entities / demons, they're going to see this as an opportunity, right?
To take a form.
To take a form and garnish some power. Why not do it? Thanks, Janet. We appreciate you being
Thank you,
here.
Janet.
Thank you for being so involved.
Janet, to get to know us, if you scroll down, we have 21 full investigations of the team. So enjoy.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much. But yeah, so I think that they can take on that form because that's all they want, right? They want power. They need emotion. They need all of that.
And that what people are talking about already has power. They're making up this Slender Man and telling ghost stories. They're like, oh, this thing is already getting people afraid. This thing is already getting people's attention. I will become that.
Exactly.
I think it's Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. They kind of talk about that Freddy becomes almost real because we made him up and everybody was so afraid of him.
Yeah. Build it up.
Here, what we got here? As paranormal because sort of. I didn't even read that fast.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That is a great question.
I think it all depends on. Now, we worked with a medium named Miriam from the Unexplained Cases, and she goes, no matter how strong any entity, spirit, anything is, it's never as strong as someone who's alive.
Yeah. No, that was I agree. I
think it could be any of them could be strong.
I think it could be, I will never tell someone how to live their life. So if you wanna ask a demon to do something, you go for it. You live your best life. But I think that if you're going to ask a lower level entity / demon to do anything for you, you really need to be prepared for potential kickback from that. So just go into it with an open mind and understanding that it's not always the safest thing to do. But if you decide to do that, that's your thing. That's cool.
Keep it separate from your life.
Yeah. I mean, as somebody who works with darker energies, this is what I've been training to do. So I'm good with it, but just be understanding that it may not go the way you want it to, and it could have potential consequences. But other than that, I think that I don't know. Moving stuff is hard for me. I think that it takes a lot for a spirit, whatever, to gather enough energy to physically move something. So
I've seen a door open one time.
Yeah.
That has no explanation. But I think that was even a residue. It just always opens. It was at a theater where people would run in and out, so it's just used to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think also too, if there has to be some garnishing of energy in order to do that, right? So, they could be taking from your energy. They could be taking from another source of energy. I don't think anyone's stronger than the other. I'm still talking. I don't think anyone is stronger than the other. If you want somebody to move something, if I'm being honest, I sometimes feel like spirits think that we're stupid when we ask can you move something for us? I feel like a lot of times
they're like, no, I can't move something. What are you talking about?
That's what we want, right? Like, how cool would that be? I've seen something move once, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'd love to see it again. But I also, every time we ask,
what did you see move? Tell us about what you saw.
When I was younger.
My child story, seeing clothes dance.
Yeah,
of course. I forgot.
The clothes just started moving. No, so it was super late. It was like 11 or 12. I mean, at this time I was a little kid, and I was pinning up a poster on my wall, and I heard a knock on the door. And so I turned around, I was like, oh, come on in. No one came in. My parents were fast asleep, and so I was like, what the fuck? And then I heard a noise, and I turned around, and I watched my straightener on my straightener, my hair straightener, completely go whoop right in front of my eyes, just whoop. And I just little wide-eyed Mandy, I was like, ah! Because I just had this knock, and then the straightener moved, and I was like, what the fuck? But now that I'm older, it's funny because it's like, whenever we ask, can you move something? Sometimes I hear the spirits laughing at us. Like, that's funny. So I don't know why they don't do it. I think it could be that they don't have enough power.
It's very hard.
I think it could be super hard for them. They could think that that's stupid. Why would they do that? I don't know. But what was his thing?
I don't think anything will follow me home. I always have the computer listening to metal music.
Yeah, get it.
That's right. They don't like noise. They don't like the cameras.
So every time I get followed home, almost every investigation, no matter what I do.
I don't.
So
I'm so lucky.
Hey, Paranormal Popcorn, if you need to let us know if you capture anything on your cameras.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm so curious as to people who have those set up. And
there's still 7 people watching. We need some questions, peeps.
Yeah, throw it out there. Sorry, my answer was
Wait, we got somebody from Twitch. Who's watching on Twitch?
Yeah,
let us know
Twitch.
What's up.
Woo, woo, woo.
Twitch is now overtaking YouTube as a social media.
Okay.
TikTok is number 1 in social media sharing. Number 2 is now Twitch, and number 3 is YouTube. 4 is Instagram. 5 is Facebook. No, I think Snapchat is more than Facebook even.
Snapchat's kind of a dying breed.
But like TikTok, not Twitch, you you go on Twitch and there are people playing video games with like 600,000 people watching.
I love watching people.
And it's live, and there's people watching people play games.
It's so good.
But it's like, how does there's that many computers like right now? Twitch is just growing. That's why we used to be live on Twitter. Also, we have switched to Twitch. We got that one Twitch. We got that one Twitch. Whoever's our Twitch watcher, please. I bet it's my wife.
Nice.
Oh, thanks, Tay.
My wife.
Here's a question for everyone. Do you guys like this round table paranormal chit chat, or do you like the ghost guests?
I think we like a healthy mixture of both.
I like a healthy mixture of both.
This has been fun.
If we had a guest on long enough, we could get talking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's sort of what I like. I want to get talking, like only the talk to people that have been locked in the basement of the Goldfield can have. You know what I mean?
Half and half. I agree.
You know, only talk of people who have been there and have done it. Like people who have not investigated can't talk about. Yes, ma'am.
Can I share my experience?
Yes, Mandy Maisie.
I need to share my experience in the
Which
basement of Goldfield.
Oh, so you've been to the Goldfield Hotel also and didn't tell us.
Yes.
Now, did you go on a tour or an investigation?
Yes. I went on a tour.
Nick Groff tour.
/ investigation. Yes.
Nick Groff tour.
When you have no paranormal people, you have to go to these tours by yourself.
Well, now you're in the fam.
I brought, so when I was down in the basement, I think I've told you this story. Maybe
I don't know.
I've told you this story. Okay.
Boom,
I was down.
Chase some things around there. I had a pretty good experience in the basement.
Basement was interesting. Yeah. I saw your guys' episode.
Anyone who hasn't, scroll on down. Check out the Goldfield Hotel. Blew our mind.
Okay. So down in the basement, I'm with my dad, and we're like checking out that. He's right here, and we're like checking out that weird. I don't know what the fuck we were looking at. Oh, you just went super blurry.
Oh, when I went over here, it messed it up.
Come back. There you are. So I have no idea what I was looking at. I think I was trying to take a picture of something, and.
Were you in the cigar room or the brick room, or the room that used to be the shower, or the room where the kid was thrown down the well? They're all in that basement.
I don't know. I was in some weird room that had some like machine thingy.
Oh, there's the elevator.
Yeah, where the machine thing was.
Yeah, there's a woman's body who was probably the girl who was chained up was found under the elevator.
Oh.
The police. Oh, is this about to corroborate your story?
No, it's just cool. So I'm taking a picture. My dad's standing there where he's watching me take the picture, and there's a man who's he needs to get past me. Okay, because it's a tight space. And I was like, oh shit, let me get out of the way for him. So I take a step forward and I move out. I was like, I'm sorry, man. And I let him pass, so he walks behind me, and I turned around just to see who he was.
And it was Johnny Depp.
He's like, on, mate.
He's not a pirate in real life.
Yo, I sang the Yoho.
I just
Yoho
ruined your
song.
story because I'm
you
sleepy.
Did. I sang Yoho on the Star of India. I was vegan. But anyways, I did not get a response from the spirits. I moved so he can walk behind me because it's tight space. So I let him go behind me, and I turned because I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm in the way. And I turned and I see the back of him walk, and then right into the wall.
That is just a lot like my Stanley story. Right
into the fucking wall. So then I was like, oh, Dad. And my dad caught the tail of him too. And it was, I just stood there and I was like, oh my fucking God. I just watched a full man walk into a wall and disappear. and I moved out of the way for him. So that's my basement story.
I might have
Yo-ho.
told it a few episodes ago, but I was in the basement of the Stanley on a Nick Groff tour a long time ago.
Nice.
And you know, they did EVP and stuff,
Mhm.
and they're all right, we're done, we're leaving. So everybody turns their flashlights on. And I'm a little discombobulated of my directions. So I see someone walking. I shine my flashlight on their heels, and I'm gonna follow them out. Remember this story? I walk
Yeah.
and I turn down this way, and then I turn, and there's a wall, and there's no one there, and there's nowhere for him to have gone. He's just gone. I'm kind of by myself down this hallway. I'm like, there's no wall. Where did he go? And you know, it's sort of like the ghost I saw at Nevada State Prison. How he almost seemed, almost like when Marv gets covered in cooking powder or whatever in Home Alone, where he's just covered in like baking soda or whatever it is in the movie. He almost seemed like he had powdery white denim jeans and like white powdery kids. I almost remember they were like white. Everything was white.
You mean it looked like a ghost?
I don't know. I just followed. I swear the David Lynch thing I saw at Nevada State Prison had very curly hair full of powder, like, is what it looked like. That's the only way I could describe it.
Wow.
Hair full of powder.
Hair full of
We
powder.
still got 6 people standing strong. But you know, we kind of got to call it.
That's true.
Pretty soon. Anyone have any final questions for the 2 members of HPD that are sitting right in front of ya? I will end with, I want to tell a creepy story that I remembered as I was driving home. It's a very short, creepy story that I really like.
Okay.
So there's a man. He gets a letter. The letter is from his brother who has already passed away. And he tells him to come and collect his things at his cabin, but don't stay the night. Don't stay the night. He goes to it's a long way in the woods. He drives and drives and drives. And about halfway there, it starts storming. It starts storming so bad. It starts storming. I'm getting chills because I know the story. He finally gets to his brother's cabin, and it's starting to get dark. And he goes inside, and there's just, there's almost nothing. There's almost nothing in the rooms. He goes in the back bedroom. There's a bed. There's these big paintings on the walls of these very ominous men, and on the bed is a suitcase, and but it's so dark and it's so late that he's like I have to stay the night. So he lays down in the bed, and he can barely sleep because the paintings are so disturbing. But he finally falls asleep to wake up the next morning to see 4 windows in that room.
Oh no!
There were no paintings. They were men standing at the windows. Look at my hair standing on end. Is that a good one?
Oh my god, I need my popcorn.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah, that one's no.
I love telling those.
Scary.
Let's see if I can remember. I have one more. See if I can remember it. I was trying to remember stories to tell, creepy stories. These are campfire stories. You can just tell for fun. So there's this little girl. She moves into a new house with her mother, and the little girl keeps playing on the stairs. And the mom says, "Do not play on the stairs. This is in a really old house. It has a big spiral staircase with a big landing." Thank you. Big spiral staircase with a big landing, and the little girl's always on the stairs. She goes to the top, and she'll giggle and run all the way down. And then she goes to the top, and she giggles and runs all the way down. And the mom finally goes, "Stop playing on the stairs."
The music stopped as soon as you said
and she
that.
goes, "But I'm playing with the little girl with the braid." And And the mom's like, "You're playing with a spirit?" And she's like, "Well, the braid is around her neck, and she likes to jump off the top of the stairs."
Ah, no! So scary.
You like that one too?
No.
Are these great stories? These are
That's
great.
That's
I
fucking
love.
terrifying.
But now you have them. You have them. They're gifts to you verbally. You can
I
tell
have nightmares.
around the next campfire. But
Nightmares.
like the one with the paintings, I've heard longer versions of it. That's a good one.
Oh, shit. No, but right as you said stop, the music stopped. That was creepy.
Everyone watching, we made it. We pulled it off. We were the guests. We were number one. We were Crazy Mandy Maisie and your host, HPD Steven. We did this all on our own. Unlucky episode 13. I think it was lucky. I think it opened a Pandora's box for us that will never close.
Nope.
And you know why this show happens? Mandy, do you know why this show happens?
No, but you're going to tell us.
It is because of our Patreon. Our big old Patreon people. They pay for the program that runs this show, that runs my mouth to keep telling you stories. So more Patreon, more things like this, more shirts, more investigations.
More.
Fuel us through Patreon. Everything goes right back to the crew, right back to the product, right back to Paraflix, right back to these people you're looking at. Join our Patreon. The link tree, it's in the link tree of all of our social media. However you're watching this, you can go to our Patreon. Just $1 a month can change. We can add more features to this. We can play more videos. We can stream old episodes and watch them with you. We can do things like that. But we can't do it till we can afford it. We all got to pay the bills. We all got to eat.
I have an idea. We should do like a paranormal couch and like
Mystery Science Theater, our own episodes.
Or like we just watch and
well, I want to watch
comment.
us watching like Nuke's Top 5 and like having fun, like breaking them down and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Brian's so fast. He cuts them out quick. Next, boom. We'll be done real quick.
Nah. I believe.
Also,
I believe.
Everybody, our TikTok is at over 100,000 followers. Thank you so much. If you are on TikTok, join HPD's TikTok. Be part of the train before it leaves the station. We are taking off. This is the year. Woo!
You can also follow me on TikTok. It will mean a lot.
I link every TikTok post now. I've tagged Crazy Mandy Maisie. Crazy Mandy Maisie is tagged. Also,
so bad.
Neither of us are wearing it right now, but you check out that Nevada State Prison shot on our Instagram. Those badass
it's a fucking
Hollywood
cool photo.
detectives pictures. Those shirts we're wearing are We Believe Ghost shirts, are We Believe Bigfoot shirts. If some shirts start selling, I'm a crazy shirt making machine. If you want a Crazy Mandy Maisie shirt, say I want a Crazy Mandy Maisie shirt. If you
believe in
I'm a medium shirt.
I'm a medium.
Please, if you've watched this, if you hear this, you're enjoying this, please follow, subscribe, like, share with your friends, talk about it at the water tank tomorrow. That HPD blew your mind tonight. Mandy, we've done it.
Yes, sir.
I would say this destroys the time travel episode.
Redemption. Hashtag built different.
Hashtag built different. Hashtag paranormal entities. All right, I gotta walk some dogs. I gotta hug some babies. I gotta go to bed, and I gotta get up at 4 to work on the next show for you. Say goodnight, Mandy.
Peace out, guys.